This show will absolutely change your life. And why?
Gary Spivey's been radio's #1 psychic for over 20 years. The one-of-a-kind show, Tapping In with Gary Spivey, showcases all his spiritual gifts and talents, taking you on a spiritual journey, broadcasting weekly from wherever he is in the world.
Hello, welcome to Tapping In with Gary Spivey. Hey guys, welcome to Tapping In with Gary Spivey. I am Psychic Gary Spivey, and I would like to thank you guys for watching the show. Remember, this is a show that gives you spiritual solutions to your real life problems. My co-host, Jason Marty, how are you?
Hey guys, how you doing?
And Travis Mead. Oh, that was great. I love it. Now, so
That's my country version of
okay, because we're here in North Carolina this week. We just finished up this great spiritual retreat, and a little bit later I'm going to show you some clips of the retreat and show you some things that I figured out. As a lot of times when I'm in a spiritual retreat, I learn a lot of stuff, and so I'm teaching, but I'm also being a good student, and so I'm trying to learn as other people are learning. And I saw some things I've never saw before. It really became apparent to me in the spiritual retreat. As I was working with people, I realized that even though life may have a giant lesson right there for them, they weren't getting their lessons. And so sometimes it was just a little bit of just common sense, and sometimes they just needed to be reminded, or maybe it was even sometimes a spiritual block that had them. So there was reasons why people don't learn lessons. And I figured this out. And most of the time, it falls into 4 categories of lesson learning, and they bleed over into the other. And so if you have a hard time learning your lesson, or if you find that in life you repeat the same problems, a lot of times people call me.
Are you looking at me for a reason?
Yeah. And so, but a lot of times people have the same problems over and over. I mean, you guys,
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do. And
I get it.
And you get stuck.
I'm a poster child.
Yeah, you are. And so, but you get stuck. See how quick that came out? And so you get really, really stuck in these different zones with things. A lot of times people will call me with love life problems, and really it's just apparent, what's going on. And so sometimes people are truly idiot magnets, and they attract an idiot time after time after time, and they have lousy love lives, and they're really looking for a soulmate, but they do exactly the same thing, and then they repeat the process, which means they didn't learn anything. But I'm sure you guys go through the same thing. How do we learn our lessons? And so today's show is going to be on lessons. How do we learn our lessons? How do we learn them faster, quicker, more efficient, so we have great lives and we don't have to keep on learning lessons over and over again? A lot of you guys are stuck, and many times I find people are stuck in their junk. And I, time after time after time, you can get this. If you have a problem, a lesson you need to learn, it's going to be in one of 4 places. The first place is going to be physically. You could have a physical problem, and it could have you stuck. You could have a mental problem. It could have you stuck. You could have an emotional problem. Emotional things are a little bit hard to diagnose because emotional things are traumas. And so a lot of times we go through traumas and we don't even know we have had a trauma. And the traumas get embedded. If you have a trauma that's embedded in you, that's going to then create, and you'll build on that, and you'll actually even attract almost the same trauma again. And you'll go through your whole life being traumatized over and over and over until you kind of bust through that and break out of that trauma. That's what therapy is all about. And with the therapist, goes backwards and tries to bump into that moment in time where you got traumatized. And then they try to, get you to talk about it and allow that trauma to leave you. So I'm really fast most of the time because I can psychically see the traumas. And then I can also...
That's why, right there.
That's not why. No, it's not the crystal ball, but we'll try it out and see if it works. And so, but you can be traumatized. And so many times emotional traumas can keep you from learning your lessons. And then, of course, you have spiritual.
Right.
And the spiritual realm, really, I believe, is about 80% of the problem. So why not start right there? So if you guys learn to meditate, learn to clear your energy, you can wipe out about 80% of your issues, even the traumas, even the mental thing, even your physical problems. And I believe that. And so that's the place to start, I think, is to get rid of the spiritual problems, and then the others kind of become very minimum, and you just have to learn those lessons.
And we have a great video that I actually found from last time we were in Minneapolis, and I showed it to you this morning. And tell me what your thoughts are on it.
Well, I was really happy about this video because this is a lady that come to me, and she was totally stuck, just like a lot of you guys. And she come to me, she was very stuck. She basically, I mean, I kept remembering in her first reading, I said, "You're not dead yet. You're not dead yet. You're really not dead." And she, she's like, "I feel dead. I feel," I said, "Well, here, let me tell you, she said, explain to me how to learn my lessons, move on with my life, and get a life." And I did. And she was either dumb enough or smart enough, whichever one it is. And so it doesn't really matter, dumb enough or smart enough to just listen and do what I told her. I got rid of some emotional traumas and some spiritual dark energies, some demons. And here, take a look.
Yeah, after I made the changes that you suggested, I realized, yes, you're right, I'm in denial. And so pain is a great motivator for change. And when I got in enough pain, I decided every morning I'm going to get up, I'm going to read some meditations, I'm going to meditate on it, I'm going to ask the universe for what I want.
Good.
I'm going to expect it to happen.
Expect it.
And
believe it's going to happen, right?
Amazingly, I lost 40 pounds. Like within 2 months, people said, "Are you shrinking? You're shrinking. What is going on?"
Right.
You
look great.
I looked, I'm 53. I looked 55. Now people say, "You look 35. What are you doing? What's your secret?" And I said, "I pray, I meditate, and I ask for what I need."
But it shows up.
And it shows up in my life.
Yeah, it just comes to you. You don't have to control freak it. It just, you allow it, it just shows up.
I allowed it.
Yeah.
Money is manifesting in my life. I mean, last year I was in lack and I got lack. Now I am in prosperity. I mean, I'm in abundance with money, with relationships, like you just said. Things are starting to turn around. And with my health, my spiritual, just my overall brightness.
And you just let it come.
I let it come because I allowed it.
And you allowed it, and here we are. So I'm so happy for you. Anyway, thank you. Give me a hug. Great, fantastic.
Tell me what it's like from your perspective to teach, or to be the leader or orchestrator of a retreat.
Well, I am like a facilitator, I think. I think maybe, I don't know that I'm the leader of a retreat when I'm doing a spiritual retreat.
Well, I know, because nothing's planned.
I don't really plan anything with a spiritual retreat. I just allow, and my angels will tell me what to do and when to do it. And it fits like perfect.
Because we were supposed to start every day at 10, and we usually started at about 11, but it seemed to work out perfect.
It worked out perfect because people need to learn to allow.
That's the biggest thing, because life doesn't really let you allow.
No. When you're in your real kind of lives, if you would, you have to be at work at a certain time. You have to pick up your kids at a certain time. You have to go to dinner at a certain time. And so sometimes we become a big slave to time. And remember, the only place that time exists is in this dimension, the first dimension where we live. All the spiritual dimensions are timeless. And so there's no time. And so I always make jokes, and when people, it's a great excuse for me being late, and I always make jokes, or sometimes I'm early, but most of the
time
I'm late.
You're never early.
Every now and then.
Every now and then. Ever. Never.
We're early.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are early.
Well, speaking
but this is important. I'll call it God's time. So you got to be on God's time.
That does make sense more than anything.
Yeah, because I see things lining up. Sometimes people will say,
all the business.
Well, a lot of times people will ask me, am I going to do this?
Convenient. That's a great take on kind of like what you went through with the spiritual retreat. Now, we got a video of what the people that came to the retreat kind of went through. So let's go to that right now.
All right.
This retreat has been a paradise, a heaven on earth.
Well, I'm very fortunate to be here, and I was led here.
Really, I am full of joy. I am recharged. I feel rejuvenated.
I feel so happy and so steady and connected.
It is the most delightful experience of heaven on earth.
You become
more at one with yourself and the people around you, and Gary really teaches that.
I came here to a spiritual retreat to get a physical healing, and that's happened for me.
Just 100% pure love, joy, and peace. And that's something I, didn't have.
We got cleared, we got healed.
I never expected this was going to be this way. I have been in many retreats before, and this is the real one that I needed for so many years.
A wonderful experience of finding yourself.
Gary has created processes which bring you to experience right now the delight of having your desires fulfilled and the experience of living that your desires are fulfilled.
Really delving into who you are as a person and what you have to offer to the world.
Learning how to allow, how to flow.
That appreciation is the most important thing.
I've learned so much about relationships, about myself, about how to look at problems in the world, look at problems at my work, and on a really deep level.
Appreciation of others and having others appreciate you and creating that balance in your life.
And the energy that I am full of right now will allow me to do and resolve all these issues that I have.
It's how to create your life being heaven on earth. It is really, really a blissful experience.
That is not something intellectual. It's something that you could experiment at all levels: emotional, physical, mental, spiritual.
He's giving us ways to go back to our individual life situations and carry this feeling with us.
It's just one of those things you gotta experience yourself.
I don't know, it's very difficult to explain with words, but I recommend it 100%. No, 1,000%.
That was amazing. Wow.
That was good. That was
well,
good.
I always love to see what people get out of things. And so,
and that was just half of the people that came to the retreat.
Yeah, when people get something, then you want to look back, and I always try to look back and go, what made them get that? And then I'll get a little better at helping people understand how to become spiritually free, how to get these lessons, get through your lessons, if you would, in life. And so anyway,
it's interesting because when you get them to allow, like you said, the timing happens for everybody on its own, and they experience these things kind of very personally. Like you'll be hanging out with somebody and not knowing their experience in that until they tell you afterwards.
Right.
Like, oh, that really happened to you?
Yeah, and they'll tell you something. You go, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm always blown away.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's really important. Each person that comes to a spiritual retreat gets something different. And so you never know really what people will get. I don't control that. Remember, I'm allowing. And so once I get them in the state of allowing, then they're always going to get exactly what they need. And this is a show that gives you spiritual solutions to your real life problems. And I've got one amazing question I want to start out with right off the bat. Who put a crystal ball in the middle of the table?
No one. It just appeared there.
Really? I didn't put it there.
The White Wizard.
No, the White Wizard didn't put a crystal ball.
I went to the Renaissance Fair this weekend and picked that up. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Uh-huh.
Does it work? Are you,
I haven't seen anything yet.
Oh, okay.
That's what gives you all your powers.
Oh, you think so, do you?
I know. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Take
Anyway.
that away, you might start crying.
Oh, okay. We'll see. Anyway, we'll see how psychic we are today with the crystal ball.
All right, Gary. So we got an email from Susie from Los Angeles on taking risks.
Okay.
Hi, Gary. My name is Susie. I know you probably get many questions a day similar to mine, but I thought I would try to ask anyway.
Okay.
About a year and a half ago, I met my boyfriend in Australia. We have been madly in love since. He came to the U.S. to study abroad at my school, and in September, I will be traveling to Australia to live there for 10 months to be with him. Although I would like to say I'm in full confidence that everything will work, I still have my doubts about a relationship. Because I'm basically putting my life on hold for him, I'm turning to you for some guidance. Gary, am I making the right decision to travel to Australia to be with him? Thank you so much for taking the time to answer my question. Susie from Los Angeles.
Okay.
Give her
Great.
a call.
Okay, let's talk to her.
Hello.
Hey, Susie, this is Travis from the Tapping with Gary Spivey show.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Hey, I just read Gary your email, and I have him right here on the line to help you out.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing really good. So now you met this fella from down under, right?
Yes, that's true.
And so,
Yep.
and so you're all excited, and things moved pretty fast, and they almost feel too good to be true, right?
Yes, exactly.
And so, well, sometimes when things are too good to be true, they are indeed too good to be true. In your case, this is not too good to be true. It's really true. I feel great about it. And so,
Really?
Yeah.
You were trying to mess with her. You
Yeah,
to
I
make
was
her worry
I
a
was
little
taking
bit.
her down.
Yeah, you got me very scared.
Yeah.
Come
Well,
on,
there we
Gary.
are. Yeah, it's kind of like American Idol or something, you know.
Yeah.
You may not make it through, but you did anyway. So, but no, this is good. So that's what you feel. You feel this afraid. You got a little fear, and the reason you have fear is because you had a colossal idiot before this guy, right?
Mhm. Yep.
And so your colossal idiot, it was always you would try to get away from your colossal idiot, and you get roped back into your colossal idiot. Did I talk about the colossal idiot? Make sense?
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
And so, but now you've shook the idiot.
Yeah.
Ain't that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
A big problem that we have in our relationship, the one I'm in right now, is the problem with intimacy, and we really struggle with that. That's because I didn't have a great experience in the past. So I'm just kind of curious how that will play out with the intimacy between my
Okay.
current boyfriend and I.
Okay. Man, the problem with intimacy, just to be honest, tell me what you go through. Make me understand it.
After we have like intercourse or anything like that, I always just like cry. I always have really strong emotions after it. It's always just such a bad experience. It never works out.
I think that you're going into drama. And so with your relationship prior to this one, that was a big dramatic mess, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're going back to those old traumas. And see, this is a reason people get stuck. And this is a reason you can't move on. And also the reason people can't learn lessons like they are worthy of a great relationship like you have now.
Mhm.
And so you want me to go back and get rid of those traumas for you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Now you would have, a lot of times you can have problems in different places. There's 4 different places. It's either physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. As I see this, you have a problem that is emotional. You have emotional traumas causing and even creating a spiritual problem, and it bounces backwards and forwards. And that's the reason with the intimate thing, you're freaking out. Now let me get rid of that. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Okay. And there we go. And there we go. And there we go. What was the 3 panic things you went through in old relationships? Was it 3 old relationships? What's the 3 things?
I'm not sure what the 3
How
things
old are you now?
I'm 21.
Okay, you're 21. Who was your previous relationship to this fella?
Well, it wasn't a relationship. I mean, I did go through something in high school, and then my freshman year of college, when I was 18, I had a really traumatic experience with a guy.
Okay, tell me about that.
That night I had lost my virginity, and I did not want to. It was more of like a sexual assault sort of thing.
Sort of, but not really.
Yeah.
If I had to be honest, you were 70% into it and 30% not into it. So it's not like you weren't there.
It wasn't the Cinderella story.
It wasn't like you got raped, but it was like.
No, and I know that.
Yeah, and so, however, when you told me the story in the beginning, it sounded like you were kind of leaning that way, but it really was not that. So you were not really the victim. That's, the truth. That happens to be the truth. And so I've just told you the truth about this thing, but it was a traumatizing thing because, when people kind of go through this thing and they lose their virginity, they actually want it to be the most special thing with the most special person that could ever be. And then after the fact, you realize, oh my God, this probably wasn't as special as what I had really dreamed up.
Yeah.
And so that was your trauma. See where I'm coming from? And so that's the reason now, every time you have intercourse and every time you have sex with your great partner you have now, you cry afterwards because you're saddened, because you're going back and looping into the same trauma over and over again. You get it, right? Now I'm gonna pull this little trauma out of you, and there we go. I pulled it out of you. You got light all over your body. You got light in your nose, in your head. I feel everything going very, very light. I see you getting warm all the way from your waist down. You see? And so now you don't have those sexual traumas, and you'll never do that crap thing again. See, now look how light your head is now.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Honey, that was what was going on. Now, this new guy's fantastic. I see you having a great time. I see you doing some travel with him. You going to Australia with him? Is that what you're doing?
No, he lives there, so
Okay.
I'm going to live there, with him.
Oh, okay. Well,
sounds fun.
I think you're going to have a great time. I see you in Australia. I also see you guys going to New Zealand. Do you know this?
Really? No. I
Okay.
did not know that.
And so because I
Wow.
see you guys in New Zealand also, so I'm just seeing these different trips that you're going to do. I think he likes to run around all over the world, you know?
Yeah.
And so I see you really having the time of your life. He's really your soulmate. So feels fantastic. I think you'll see everything works out really good for you. I got rid of the trauma. You won't do that anymore. Okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Honey, good luck.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take
Thanks
care.
for being a part of the
Thanks for your
show.
call.
Thanks.
Bye.
That was great.
Yeah, interesting, right?
And,
Yeah,
and,
that is
and
interesting.
that totally
Yeah,
applied
wow.
to our theme, learning your lessons.
Yeah,
You know,
and
she
she-
had to, get out of her drama, not loop. And
Right. But it was because of a trauma, and she was repeating the process every time she was
That's
intimate.
so crazy. That's like 3 years of therapy in 5 minutes.
Well, that's what happens. I mean, if you I figured that
So
out.
that would be emotional. The trauma would be an emotional.
That was an
part.
emotional trauma that I could tell had her stuck. She's going to feel great. She can move on and have a great relationship without
And
all.
not cry after she has
Yeah,
great sex.
right. And so
I can relate.
there we go. Do you cry?
I can relate.
Did you cry after you lost your virginity?
Next caller.
You're ridiculous. Anyway, let's look in the crystal ball. Oh, I don't want to see it. A lot of times people will go into exaggerated drama. And remember, drama is one of the 5 Ds, and that's they'll go into this exaggerated drama, and drama is a lie. Drama's acting. Drama is not trauma. There's a difference, but you can actually traumatize yourself with drama. And so you're having a moment, Travis, of drama.
Just
leave you
okay.
alone.
Proceed.
Okay.
I feel like meditation and prayer will really help you check yourself on a lot of these
Well,
issues.
a lot,
like,
because you can see what the truth is.
That's
See,
what it is.
see, because she was hung up, and in the beginning of the call there, she was hung up, and she really wanted to say, I was raped. I mean, she didn't say it, but she's like, more or less. And so, but when I psychically looked at it, I'm like, no, you weren't. You were in there.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What does that vision look like to you in your head? I mean, how do you sort through that? And I mean, I'm being honest.
Well, I ask myself I ask myself questions. I can answer.
So you hear it. It's not like something you see.
Sometimes I see visions, but I'm like, was she into this moment? And she was. And it just, after it was all said and done, she was like, I expected this to be a greater moment with someone I was madly in love with. And she felt dismissed by this fellow, whoever he was. And so, it hurt her feelings. But however, it went into this space emotionally that traumatized her. And those traumas can be deadly, and they can get you stuck, and you will really, she could be doing this when she's 60 or 70 or 80 or 100 years old. And never ever have
Never even know why.
No, and so therefore it's really important to get rid of those traumas. And I don't even think she's aware and of what a big deal that was. But that's going to be a really great big deal for her.
Huge, because people end up walking around not being themselves because they're living in traumas.
Well, they're playing this fictitious role in their head that, oh my God, I was touched, I was molested, I was raped. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
And so
I pray for those traumas all the time.
Sure you do. Anyway.
Hey guys, don't go anywhere. Tapping in with Gary Spivey will be right back after this short message.
Hey guys, if you want a private reading with me in person, just me and you can call me up at 800-827-GARY and schedule some time, and I'll talk to you about all your problems.
Now back to Tapping In with Gary Spivey.
Well, hey Gary, we do have a Facebook question. Tabitha writes in and she says, Gary, why not? How come I can't fulfill my potential and what I want to do and what I was meant to do in this life?
I think a lot of times, when I look at her, I think her expectations of what she should do in this life are set. She's setting her goals and with what she thinks other people think. And so I don't think that's a good idea. I think that you
I have a bad problem with that.
Well,
it's true.
Yeah, that's one of your worst things because you always worry about what other people are thinking.
Because then you end up in a race with who you race?
Other people.
Right.
Well, you're never going to win, or you're always going to lose with kind of playing that game in your head because you're not really being who you are.
And it makes you nuts.
And it always makes you crazy and everybody else around you. And so, but what I see is I believe that she's already done some things and that have been really great, and she needs to acknowledge. And this is really important, guys. Also at the spiritual retreat we just did, I realized, that appreciation was so important, and
that was the biggest point of the whole retreat.
Definitely,
that was the pinnacle. That was what everyone talked about.
Yeah, and it was like it made me. And when I started going through appreciation with everybody, I figured out all these little things, and that were so important.
That was an amazing highlight during that retreat because everybody got something out of it.
Because
even us.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
And that was crazy because that exercise took 3 hours, and
Yeah.
you had
Yeah.
no idea that you were going to do that.
No,
Yeah.
the angels told me to do it. But here's the thing. I figured out this. Guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to appreciate a 10 or more. And so you have to learn to appreciate a 10 or better. Then you go into infinity numbers. If you can go beyond 10, you go to a million, a gazillion, a trillion, zillion.
The more you appreciate, the more you get.
Oh, then abundance comes to you. If you just appreciate whatever, just you can always find something to appreciate. And I think this gal on Facebook, what she's really missing is appreciating herself. And so she's got to appreciating some of the things she's already done that are fantastic. So she needs to look at the things that she's done already and go, wow, that was great, and appreciate it. Savor that moment. Appreciate that, and then move on to greater things.
Yeah, I was going to say what helps me do that is actually being totally present in the moment.
That's
and
it.
Where I'm at, what I'm doing, who
Yes.
I am.
Yeah.
And that kicks it up a little notch,
Oh, it kicks it up a lot. Be in the moment. If you can be in that moment, the only time you can really appreciate this moment, you guys, that you're in right now, is right now. Appreciate this moment. And I mean, you can look back at it and go, wow, I appreciate that. But you can really, really feel it. And so just be in the moment. And if you're in your moment, not worrying about what other people think, you'll be in your moment, not in theirs.
Gary, speaking of lessons,
Right.
I've heard you talk about this in probably only about 2 seminars in the past.
Okay.
And it was these scrolls you got from a certain dimension that everybody has, where you get handed a scroll from God.
Well, it's really,
and it has a lesson inside.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, like God and the angels will hand you down a scroll. And, you know, I have the gift of reading, like I can read, and I can read a person's scroll. And so when I go to a room and I read all these scrolls of what people are getting given, what is your lesson in his life? The person then will go, oh my God, you know, that is so perfect. And so you can't write this stuff, but you can get a scroll. So you can actually, in meditation, ask your angel. All you got to do is say, Angel, God, please give me my scroll and my lesson. And you know what? That's part of the meditation we're going to do later in the show. So I'll show you guys how to do this, okay?
Okay, Gary, we actually just got a phone call, and we're on a little bit more of a serious side.
Okay.
It's from Rami in the Midwest.
All right.
She says, my brother was found dead on my 28th birthday.
Ooh.
He was 31 when he died.
Wow.
He was an alcoholic and was trying really hard to quit.
Right.
But that's what killed him. His actual cause of death was a ruptured blood vessel in his esophagus. I worry if he made it to heaven because of all the pain he was going through and with his divorce. I don't think he actually died on my birthday, but every year I have a very hard time celebrating because of his death. Gary, if there's any words of advice or encouragement, I'd really appreciate it.
Okay, let's talk.
Sounds like a hard.
All right, so let's go to line 1.
Hi, Romney. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. And so you're calling. You lost your brother, you know, very sadly. And how long ago was this? This was around your 28th birthday. Is that right?
Yes. In December, it'll be 9 years.
Okay. All right. And so it still haunts you? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you just can't quite be okay with this, right?
Right.
Okay, let me just look and see where he is. And so when I look at him, he was sort of upset with everybody a little bit. Do you know that?
Yep.
And if he feels like he might have been drunk or on drugs, was he one of or both of those?
He was an alcoholic.
And so because when I look at him, he feels like he got really, really cold before he died.
He was home alone. He was found naked. I don't know what that means, but
Okay. I think he felt like he was on fire, like he felt like his blood pressure went really high or something, and so and he felt really super hot, and I think he might have took all his clothes off because he was feeling so hot. And then once his body started going through these changes, I actually see that he went through all these changes, and it caused a problem where he then went really, really cold because he didn't have clothes on. So I feel him really cold. When I try to find a person that has passed on the other side, I'm going to find them in heaven, or I'll find them on earthbound. I find him earthbound because I feel he's cold. So that's the reason you feel so horrible about what's going on. He's hung in that moment of death. And so one of the gifts I have is I can get the angels to come and help him out. You want to do that, right?
yeah.
Okay. And so I need for you to call his name, because he won't respond to my voice. He'll respond to yours. I see demons going all over the place. I'm getting rid of the demons that really had a grip on him since he was even a teenager. See how you got a little warm in your feet?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got the light around him now. Now here's what I need for you to do. Call his name.
Ryan.
Okay, one more time.
Ryan.
Okay, there he's responding. He's looking around. Tell him to look up right now. Tell him to look up.
Ryan, look up.
Okay, there we go. Tell him to take the angel's hand.
Ryan, take the angel's hand.
Say, take the angel's hand now. Say, do it now. Do it now.
Do it now.
Okay.
Do it now.
Okay, he's reaching. There we go. Okay, now he's got the angel's hand. Tell him to take a step into the light.
Step into the light.
He says, I'm scared. Say, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid, Ryan.
Okay, now he's saying this feels warm. Tell him to step into the light.
Step into the light.
There we go. Tell him to take one more step.
One more step.
There he goes. Okay, now there you go. Now you got him. There he goes. And so, there. Now look how warm you feel now. Now you feel kind of hot and light and like you're floating upwards. Feel that feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy feeling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saved him. You really did. You did him the biggest favor anybody could ever do. Anybody. You know, and that's, you got him out of that earthbound dimension, which is a horrible place. He was hung in the moment of death. He basically caused his own death because of his actions in his life. So it wasn't exactly suicide, but sort of suicide, because he's the one that created that mess. People get earthbound. It wasn't his time to die. You freed him up. And now when you think about him, you're going to feel calm. You're going to feel light, because he's going to be in heaven. It takes about 15 minutes to get to heaven, best I can tell. And so, but he's going to feel better. Look how light you feel now. How's that feel?
That feels good.
Really different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You did him a big favor, okay?
Thank you so much.
Honey, thank you so much. Good luck with everything. The whole family's going to feel so much better. If you have an earthbound spirit in your family, it's really, really rough on everybody else. Now you'll notice everybody will feel just very different about this. So good luck, okay?
Thank you, Rami, and we're going to check back in with you and see how you feel in a week or so.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Rami.
Thanks, honey.
Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
Bye.
That was a hard one, yeah.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And so, and if you notice, when I tapped into him, I suddenly felt this freezing to death sensation. And so, and
you're
that's,
an empath.
well, I'm an empath, so I was feeling what he was feeling. Well, if you're in heaven, you're not freezing to death. So that
Right.
let me know he's earthbound, and then see how it makes sense.
Right.
And so,
Right.
I had no idea what was what or how he died. But see, he was found naked. And so, because as he bled out, his body got colder and colder, and he just felt this horrible cold sensation. So she did him a really big favor.
That was great.
Yeah,
That was
don't
awesome.
kill yourself. Whatever you do not kill yourself. You'll stay earthbound, and that is a bad spot.
Hey, Gary, we have another call that just came in
Okay.
on line 2 from Teresa.
Okay.
And this could be like an unsolved mystery type case, but it's a serious case, and it's
Okay.
a sad call.
Okay.
It says, my daughter passed away 3 weeks ago,
Ooh.
and it has broken my heart. It's under investigation.
Wow.
I want to know if she's at peace. Gary, please help. All right, Jason, let's go to line 2 and take Teresa's call.
All right.
Hey, Teresa, it's Gary Spivey. How are you?
I'm doing okay, Gary. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. So your daughter passed away recently, right?
Yes.
Like
Passed away May 28th, and it is under investigation. So
Okay.
I do not know exactly how she passed.
Was she found just kind of found in an apartment, or where was she?
Yes, she was in a lower half of a house that was divided into apartments.
And did they think that she might have just choked to death or something? I feel a choking sensation. That's what I'm feeling. What?
Absolutely. It looked like she hung herself, but
Mhm.
at the same time it didn't. They said it was suspicious for suffocation and staged hanging, and she was in an abusive relationship, and
Right.
so it is under investigation to determine if she did this to herself or
Okay.
if something happened to her.
Oh, well, feel the chills everywhere.
Yes.
Okay. I think she's earthbound because she died wrongly. Think that the worst case scenario, it's about what you think. You're pretty sure that her bad relationship killed her, right? That's what you think.
Yes.
I see somebody's hands around her throat, and so
Wow.
I'm feeling like she was murdered. I don't think she hung herself, but I do think that she's earthbound, and so because
Really?
she put herself in this horrible situation. She cussed a lot, right?
Yes.
I'm just quoting her. I hear her screaming, "The Immer effer killed me. Oh my God, he killed me. Oh my God. Oh my God."
Oh, wow.
And so I see her screaming and freaking. I think they're going to find some evidence that sort of leads to that. It looks crazy, and I think they're probably going to catch this person. That's what I think. And so,
Good.
and so it feels like that. He's already been questioned, right?
Yes, and he's being brought in for more.
Okay.
Is she at peace? I mean,
No.
she has 4 little boys behind, and she was
she's
starting
not
a new job, and
honey, she's
all
not
of
at
that.
well, she's not at peace. She's earthbound. So let's just take care of that piece of it, okay? And
Okay.
so it looks like the authorities are going to take care of the other piece of things. And I'm so sorry. I mean, I just can't tell you how sorry, but I see her earthbound and she's in an irate tangent. When she would get mad, she'd go totally crazy, right?
Yes.
And so I see her in this irate tangent, losing her mind, screaming and yelling to the top of her lungs, somebody, she's freaking out. So call her name. She'll hear you. She won't respond to me. Call her name. We're going to get her to the light, okay?
Amber Jean.
Tell her to look up.
Amber Jean, look up.
Now she's starting to cry and say she's sorry. Tell her to look up.
Amber Jean, look up.
Tell her to take the angel's hand.
Amber Jean, take the angel's hand.
Take the other hand. Take the other hand.
Take the other hand.
Take a step into the light.
Take a step into the light,
Take
Amber Jean.
Take one more step. One more step.
One more step,
And
Amber.
there she went. There she went. There she went. Look how light you got.
Yeah, my feet are hot.
Okay, that's because her feet are hot. And so, but she went on up to the light. And so you did her the biggest favor anybody can do anybody. And now you won't be, so tortured by thinking, feeling that she's in this bad spot. She was earthbound because she put herself in this harm's way. She didn't kill herself, but she kind of killed herself because she didn't have to be there, Everybody had warned her,
We did, and then
Yeah.
I struggled because an hour before she passed, I tried getting her out of there, and I got mad. I left because I couldn't get her out of there, and then I got a phone call 2 hours later, and she was passed. So
Well,
I blame myself.
No, honey, you did. That's the reason she was screaming. She also screamed and yelled. I mean, she was running around in an irate tangent. I didn't tell you everything she said, but she did say, I should have listened. I should have listened. I should have listened. So you actually told her. And so you did your best to get her out of there. Well, she should have listened. And so it's so sad, and the 4 kids left behind. But you did her a big favor.
Thank you.
Honey, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Good luck, okay?
Okay,
So
thank
sorry.
you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's tough.
Yeah, that was
tough
intense.
one. That was crazy. Yeah.
That's back to back.
Yeah, that call had a lot of light in it. I was getting super hot when you were telling her to look up.
Yeah, well, the reason was I had to bring in so many angels then. When I'm sending people to the light, I mean, my process, guys, I've done it a lot. I mean, I probably send, I would bet, 12 people a week or so to the light.
Yeah, I'd say so with all the radio shows you do.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And so these poor people are hung in this horrible earthbound dimension. And so in this situation, there were so many demons and so much deception and so much of a horror story here that I had to bring in bands and bands of angels. Usually I can bring in about, one band of angels and they'll take a person to the light. I wasn't wanting to alarm the poor distressed mom, but I felt bad for Teresa. But I actually had to bring in bands of angels, and that's the reason you felt so hot.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, so we did her a lot of good. And all you guys, when you're watching the show and you're seeing this, and it doesn't even matter the timing or whether you're watching right now the show live or whether you're watching on one of the replays, your energy actually helps to get this person to the light. I mean, so anytime, project a lot of light when I'm doing one of these. And so, because it makes a lot of difference.
And then when they do get to the light, does their energy help them to heal?
Well, oh yeah. And so, I mean, because when you heal a person, you're going to get healed. That's the way it works. I mean, anytime, you feel these warm sensations, and a lot of you guys at home, you'll actually feel light, warm sensations. Your feet will get hot, when everybody else's does. And so that means because they got healed, you got healed. And so always realize that's what's happening. If you would like for us to answer your question, just call this number right now on your screen, 1-800-TAP-GARY, 1-800-TAP-GARY, 1-800-827-GARY. And we got some other ways you can get in touch with us, and they are...
Yeah, if you want to ask us a question, go to GarySpivey.com and fill out the email form right there on the front page.
Okay.
Also on Facebook.com/Gary Spivey, on Twitter @GarySpivey, and also on Instagram @GarySpivey.
Yeah,
so follow us, send us messages, ask us questions.
Or you can just get a hold of us through the crystal ball.
Yeah, that thing works too.
Yeah, I see you in there.
Hey guys, don't go anywhere. Tapping in with Gary Spivey will be right back after this short message.
Hey guys, if you want a private reading with me in person, just me and you can call me up at 800-827-GARY and schedule some time, and I'll talk to you about all your problems.
Now, back to Tapping In with Gary Spivey. Okay, Gary, so as you know, last week we had a real emotional call on Father's Day, and you had Davina, whose father had committed suicide when she was 10, I believe, and he actually did it on Father's Day, and she sent him to the light with your help.
Yeah.
And so you weren't able to, communicate with him because he had just gotten there, and it, like you said, it takes about 15 minutes to get to heaven. And so this week we're actually gonna check in with her father
see where he is,
see how he's doing.
When you go to heaven, when I talk to people on the other side, they're going to be in one of three places I've found. They could be earthbound, like some of the people on today's show, or they most likely are in heaven, whooping it up, enjoying whatever their passion and whatever you like to do when you're alive. A lot of times you're doing the same thing over there. I've seen people golfing. I see people with a car collection. I see people laughing and having parties, and every day's Christmas and every day's Thanksgiving. So I see all these really fun things. I see people singing and dancing. I mean, so I see people with family. I mean, so when you go to heaven, it's not boring. It's like fun. You get spoiled. And or I see people in a transitional state. Now, transitional state is sort of when you get to heaven, you hang out in this beautiful garden, like a Garden of Eden, and lots of angels are around you until you kind of get back together in one piece. And so sometimes people are in transition, but you'll be in one of those three places.
Well, and this is a good thing because I don't, there's probably a lot of people that haven't heard of people being earthbound, and listening to that, knowing that someone's loved one is not on the other side. And now, they got to witness them going to the other side, and this is kind of a completion to see what happens when we do send them to the light. So let's go to a quick clip of what happened last week, real quick. Let's go to that now.
All right.
I went out to ask my mom where my dad was, and she said to go look for him in the building. He must be outside doing work. And I went out with my Father's Day card and tried the side door, and he had big semis in the building. And I walked around the semi, and he had hung himself. He had stepped off a cement block. It's been really hard. I have terrible just visions, and
unfortunately I see him earthbound.
He is earthbound.
Yeah, that building smelled like oil and smelled like gasoline, right?
Yes, it did.
And every time you smell gasoline, it freaks you out because it reminds you of this, right?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
And now let's call Davina and see how she's doing.
All right.
Hey, Davina, how are you? It's Travis from the Tapping with Gary Spivey show.
Good, how are you?
Good, Davina. Hey, we're just giving you a call back in to check up with you, and here's Gary.
Yeah, and so, Davina, how are you, honey? And so,
good, how are you?
Good. I mean, you made us all cry last week, and so you
I felt a lot better when I got off the phone with you.
Did you? You felt lighter?
Yeah, I felt really like now, even just thinking about it, I feel a lot better.
Oh, wow. Good, fantastic,
good. That's awesome. That's
great.
What we do. That's what the show's all about.
Yeah, and so because it gives you spiritual solutions to your real life problems, and so you had been stuck in that moment of when you found your father on Father's Day, in the garage, as a suicide victim,
right?
And so, it was just rough on you, but now you feel light and you feel good, different feeling, right?
Right. Right.
Well, see, anytime we get him up to the light. When you think about him now, he's up in heaven. Why don't we check on him and see what he's doing in heaven?
I would love that.
Okay.
And what was your dad's name again, Davina?
David.
Okay. But what'd you
He
call
went
him?
by Dave.
Yeah, what did you
I called him Daddy.
That's right. Okay. Call his name. Let's see. Just call him. See what he's doing.
Daddy.
Okay. He's crying, and when they cry on the other side, they make me cry. You guys can cry. It doesn't make me cry always, but when they cry on the other side, I get teary. He fell to his knees and crying and says, "Oh my God, my baby, I'm sorry." And he tells me to tell you, thank you, Lord, thank you. He just keeps on saying thank you over and over. And so he's with an older lady. I don't know if that's his mother or grandmother.
Grandmother.
Okay, but he was real close. He was real close. He said, "That's my boy." She
raised him.
She raised him like a mama. And I see her holding him, and she says, "Thank you." She says, "Thank you. You saved him. You saved him." She keeps saying that. He's right there with her. He says, "Thank you. I'm in heaven. I'm with my people. I'm home at last." But he just keeps saying he loves you and thank you over and over and over. And there's a little dog there. He's got a little dog with him. It's got a little strange face.
Yeah, it's a bulldog. It's our bulldog. We got him because he drove Mack dump trucks, and
Oh,
Named him
okay.
yeah.
Was his name Mac?
His name was Dozer. 'Cause
Dozer.
My dad has a
Dozer.
construction business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
he dozed
Cute.
into everything.
Oh, okay.
He actually died on Father's Day, year to my dad's death.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Wow.
was super close with my dad.
Oh,
yeah.
well, he holds him up. He holds him up, and he had a tongue that was longer than it should be, right?
Yes,
He had
that's
this crazy long.
That's great.
This tongue
That's
is
him.
it's like a tongue is like falling out of his mouth.
Yeah,
and,
that's him. Yeah, he always had his tongue out.
Yeah, and it would just kind of hang out of his mouth, like it wouldn't
Yeah,
stay
it
in
did.
it.
Yeah, everywhere. He looked like he was dying of like a heat stroke, like he had had water. That's the way he looked all the
Well, that's
time.
what I see. I see this dog with this ridiculous tongue, and so Dozer's with him. He just says, "Tell her I love her, thank you." And I see the dog licking, and so the dog loves you too. His big old lick. So
Is there any way you could ask him why he did it?
he had suicide demons, and they just jumped in him and took him over. A lot of times people don't even think of why.
Explain to her how that works.
Well, it's really kind of crazy. What happens is, he could be like, have a glass of water, go for a walk out in the garage, kill yourself. I mean, and you will. And so it's really not even like a real thought out thing. Many times a suicide demon will jump in you, and so that's a reason to meditate, to keep your aura very big and very strong, so the demon can't get inside your body. Because if a demon gets inside your body, they can do this havoc, cause these horrible things to occur, like kill yourself or kill somebody. And so but it was really, he was just possessed, and so don't be mad at him, just be mad at the demon. And so but that's what it was. And he just says he loves you. I see the whole family, and I hear the dog barking, and stuff.
So does he know that I have kids now? And
he knows now. Yeah. Grandma filled him in. She said, I told him everything. And she's talking about a blanket. Do you have one of her quilts or blankets or something?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah, she tells me, and she done her finger like, yep. And so she just says, when you hold on to that, she says she feels you. She says, wrap it around you. She said, I'll send you a blessing. She's pretty spiritual lady, pretty religious.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
And so she says, tell her I love her very, very much, and tell her I picked some of those young'uns for her. She calls them young'uns.
Aww.
She calls them young'uns instead of children. She says young'uns. I picked some of those young'uns for you. She loves you. She loves you very much. He says, tell her I love her, and he's still cracking up and crying. So tell her I love her. So he's good, honey. You did them all a big favor.
So now he can actually be with me in a good spirit, not a bad one.
Oh, in a total good spirit. You won't. That's the reason you felt better since. I mean, we did it like about a week ago. You felt. Yeah. So it's all good. Lots of love
I'm all
to you.
tingly now.
Oh, good. Lots of love to you. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you, Davina.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have a great day.
Hey, you too.
Thank
Bye
you.
now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
That was awesome.
That was
crazy.
Just
I like talking to the dog.
that was funny.
The weirdest thing is this dog had this tongue that was like this thing that it looked like a lizard. The dog looked like had this lizard-looking tongue that kind of hung out the side of his mouth, and so. And then when I'm just explaining this, you could tell she was like, "Oh yeah, this dog's tongue wouldn't act right."
The crazy thing is as soon as she answered the call, it's like her voice resonated closure.
Yeah,
just total difference.
She was very light and just
bright.
You could tell she was smiling too.
Yeah, and he's with family on the other side, so don't leave your earthbound family members, earthbound, for heaven's sake, and there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can call me, for a private reading, and I can help you with that at 800-827-GARY, 800-827-GARY for a private reading, and I can help you get your loved ones to the light. I do that all the time. Or you can get a whole bunch of people together, and it's called praying them up. And the old Southern people knew what that was, and so
praying them up the Lord.
Praying them up, and even this is a kind of a popular thing in the Hispanic culture. It's what is it called, the Day of the Dead, or what?
Yeah.
Where they have a day where they when people are hung or earthbound.
What day is that?
That's
I don't know the date. It's called Dia de los Muertos.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. Day of the Dead. Pray them up. But
pray them up.
Sometimes I hear you say that on the radio. Like, do you guys pray really hard for him because he's already in heaven?
Yeah, because a lot of times people will call me to send their family members, up to the light because I have that gift. But I'll go, they're already there. I said, you've already done it. I said, you guys must pray a lot, and you got together and you prayed them up. And they said, oh, we did, and I go, well, it worked. So it's really important. You guys can do that too. I don't have the market cornered on sending people to heaven. I can talk to angels. So I ask the angels to come and, and help with the process. And then the person has to say something like tell the person, look up, so they can hear and know what to do. But you can pray them up. And so you have to just get together with a bunch of your family members and pray for this person to not be earthbound. And then that's how it works.
That's great. Gary, so we're going to wrap the show up, and we have, one final meditation that was from the retreat. So
yeah.
kind of give us an explanation of.
Well, this is a meditation, and this is a meditation where you'll see how to go higher and get in touch with your big source warrior angel. And so this is a really big thing to do, a really good thing to do. And when you're outside, a lot of spiritual gifts will come down. And while you're following along in this meditation, we're outside doing this, you'll be able to get your scroll. And so while you're in that space of meditating, just ask God for your scroll. It's really simple. Give me my scroll, and you'll be able to see words many times.
And that'll be your lesson?
And that'll be your lesson. Yeah, because remember, learn your lessons, learn your life lessons. And then you don't have to go through a lot of these traumas and dramas or even dying if you learn your lessons. And so it's very, very important. And meditate every day. Usually the spiritual piece is about 80%, and all the other pieces are easy then. So meditate every day, and this is really going to help you out. And be very thankful, be very appreciative now. Try to appreciate all the people in your world, and try to appreciate your world on a scale of 1 to 10, a 2,000. Go above a 10, and you'll go into these infinity numbers, and you will create your heaven on earth. I'll see you next week right here on Tapping In with Gary Spivey. I love you guys. Thank you for watching the show.
When you're meditating, you're just bringing light in from heaven. And when you bring this light in from heaven, the more light you bring down and put in your physical dimension, which is the first dimension, the more light you have. So this week, you're going to get the gift of a sword. This is going to be a little bit different than last week's meditation because you're asking for a spiritual gift. Now, with this spiritual gift, you can clear all your dimensions all the way up to heaven the next time you meditate. That's the reason this is really so important. So you ask for the spiritual gift of a sword. Allow yourself to be a part of where you are. Allow yourself to be a part of the birds. Allow yourself to be a part of the nature, and you can actually feel the energy. Allow the nature energy to permeate through your body. As you do this, you'll find it's really easy to go right on up to the highest vibration in heaven. Now, here's what I want you guys to do today. I want you to ask your angel, and ask God, God, please give me a spiritual gift to clear my energies with. Now, I want you to imagine yourself getting a sword that is the size of a telephone pole, a really big sword. So take your sword, close your eyes, and clear your energy. And I want you to clear your energy all the way up to heaven. Clear your energy all the way up to heaven. And just go round and round, clearing your energy all the way up to heaven. And now as you get up to heaven, you'll see this big spiral staircase. Walk up the spiral staircase, the white spiral staircase. Now you're on top of the clouds. Now walk up another staircase. And now you're up in this beautiful, beautiful heaven energy. Imagine yourself walking with all of the angels. See the angels around you, feel them around you. Now I want you to imagine the water, and I want you to walk down into this little pond of water, allowing this water to wash out every cell in your body. Just allow this energy to wash out every cell in your body. Now then, as you look up into the sky, you're going to see this giant, bright light. This giant, bright light will look almost like the sun. Allow this light to permeate through your body from heaven. It's a beautiful platinum white light with golden hues. Allow this giant white light to come back down through all of your 10 dimensions, all the way down to your physical body and into your physical world. This beautiful source energy will fill you up, and if you're full of light, you won't be full of dark. Now that you've allowed this beautiful light from heaven to permeate through your first dimension, you can always use your sword to clear your energies all the way back up to heaven. The more times you clear your path going to heaven and coming back down to earth, the more light you have in your body and the more magic you have. And remember, it's always important, the most important thing is to say, thank you, God, thank you, angels, thank you, heaven, thank you, source energy, thank you for my spiritual gift of a sword that I can now use to clear my energy with. And I'll see you next week right here on Tapping In with Psychic Gary Spivey. I love you guys.